We talked about the popular girl falling in love with the boy, rich girls falling in love with the guy, princesses falling in love with the commoner, so let's set our expectations even higher, be more delusional, and see 10 romance animes where a goddess falls in love with the guy. Let's go. Number 10, Tayutama, Kiss on My Deity.
私はたゆたゆならぬたゆたいならば大和の東をすべたるきくらみ神の姫と申す。
This is what happens when you touch things you shouldn't touch. This guy is said to be an exorcist, but the moment he touches some unwanted stuff, spirits get released and bad things happen. Oh wait, did I also mention there's a goddess who says she wants to marry him? Yep, perhaps touching things you shouldn't can give you an obsessive goddess.
どうでしょう。
すごく似合ってる。
ゆりさんたらそりゃ昔の人なんだから着物が似合うでしょうに。
ぴったりのようじゃの。
はい、お父様。
Even though this anime was made in 2009, it has that 1990s anime art style. But don't let that fool you. The animation can be pretty good. And don't think this guy is lucky just because he has a goddess by his side. Turns out the spirits he released are in a war with each other. And as the guy responsible for all this mess, our guy Yuri Mito must find a way to solve this solution. And this is based on a visual novel, so expect an anime with all those routes merging together. Number 9, Matenate Loki Ragnarok.
What a gentle and loving mother she had.
If you were bored with watching Marvel's Loki, then here we have an anime Loki. And no, we don't have Thor in here, and Kratos isn't coming anytime either. Matantai is about the god Loki who gets exiled to the human world and then takes the form of a child. The only way he can become a god again is if he collects the auras of evil, so he decides to start a detective agency.
Hey, look, I still have that panda bear back home.
I remember. Myra made you promise to buy it for her birthday.
That's right, I did.
If Loki started a detective agency is bizarre for you, then wait until he is joined by this girl named Mayura, who is a maniac for mysteries. And that's not all. Soon other Norse gods start to appear in order to assassinate Loki for reasons that won't be revealed until the final arc. If you want a god solving mysteries with a crazy sidekick, then this is the show for you. Number 8, Inari Konkon.
こんにちは、稲荷。私は羽化の御霊の神。
Now, the girl here isn't exactly a goddess, so call her something like a demi-goddess. Inari Konkon is about what happens to middle schooler Inari Fushimi, and she's shy and clumsy, but is very kind. One day, she saves a small fox pup near a local shrine, and the goddess the pup belonged to, Ukasama, grants Inari a fragment of her powers. What's her power? Well, once she shots Inari Konkon, she can transform anyone into anything she wishes. Pretty cool power, right?
ドリブルを教えてください。
そこからか。
なんで言えへんのかな。
僕がやってみるから見ててな。
今のチャンスやったんちゃう？
伏見さん。
But what's the problem in here? Well, turns out our girl is still shy to confess to her crush. So even if she's a goddess, a demigoddess, she still needs a way to overcome social anxiety. Apart from the romance, this has tons and tons of comedy, and since this isn't talked much about the anime community these days, this might have been something that has gone under the radar. Number 7, Oh My Goddess.
行ってみないか。最後の日にもう一度さ。最終日は花火があるんだって。その日はここも休みだし、久しぶりに出かけてみようよ。
From the title itself, you could tell a goddess is involved in this one. In this world, we have a goddess help hotline. And what does this hotline do? When you call this number, a goddess will land on your doorstep and grant you any of your wishes. But our main character doesn't ask for any wish. He asks to live with the goddess herself. And the goddess says, sure man, why not? It's not like there's much going on in heaven anyways.
天気予報なんて当てにならないな。天気も俺たちに味方してくれてるんだね。
Like a majority of these animes with goddesses, this one is an old one, so expect the art style to be a bit old. The comedy is what carries this show since it doesn't have any long and boring dialogue or any action scenes. Every character in this show has some comedic trope involved. If you need a laugh while shipping a goddess and a human, then make sure to watch this one. Number 6, Inukami.
ごめんごめん。待った。
もう 遅いぞケイタ、いつも遅刻なんだから。
ごめんヨコ、お詫びに今日は全部俺がおごるから。
Here we have a guy who comes from a family of Inukami tamers. Wait, who is an Inukami? Well, my lazy friend, a quick Google search will show you that Inukami means dog god. Interpret that for whatever you want. Anyways, here we have a guy that gets kicked out of the family because he doesn't have the ability to tame dogs. I mean, dog gods. But along comes beautiful girl Yoko, who is an Inukami who is looking for a contractor.
何？
なんか緊張するね。
ん？
ほら、お芝居とはいえケイタとデートするの初めてだし。
芝居なんかじゃないさ。
Come on, I don't have to explain what happens next, right? These two sign a contract and our main character soon realizes the girl isn't what she looks like. Turns out she brings trouble wherever she goes, and the comedy is pretty good, and you can see how much passion was put into the show. The anime has some crazy stuff going on, so watch it at your own risk. Number 5, Shuffle.
何？まあ確かに俺はリンダ。
Shuffle starts when gods and demons decide to live as this guy's next door neighbors. Our main two love interests are the daughter of the gods, Sia, and the daughter of the demons, Nerine. These two girls are actually pretty wholesome and nothing strange about them. Then who is the weird one? It's our childhood friend. She's the girl with the jealousy issues.
今日も二人でご登校？相変わらず仲いいわね。おはようございます。マサ先輩。
She doesn't like her guy starting to date angels and demons and wants him for all for herself. In a way, that's actually good. We always see that childhood friend getting kicked around and then getting rejected in the final episode. Shuffle says no to that concept and makes the childhood friend a yandere. Since this video is about gods, I should be speaking about the daughter of the gods and the daughter of the demons, but we all know whenever there's a yandere in the show, she always steals the spotlight. Number 4, Kamigami no Asobi.
ねえ、俺の友達見なかった？北の果ての海みたいな青い目で長い金の髪のやつ。
いえ。
This time we have a girl who meets some gods because why the hell not? Yui Kusanagi is just an ordinary high school student, but her boring life gets turned upside down when she finds a mysterious sword in a secret room at her house. Yui touches this sword and gets transported into a magical world where she meets hot guys who want to rescue her. And turns out they're gods too.
草薙結衣、お前をここに呼んだのは我々の計画に参加させるためだ。
The gods take her to Zeus, who wants to make the high school girl teach the gods about human emotions. That's right, Zeus hired Yui as an instructor for any academy full of gods in order to prevent the deteriorating relationships between humans and gods. So it's a harem, but in reverse gear. Can our girl teach an academy full of obsessed gods? Watch the anime and find out. Number 3, World Only God Knows.
僕にリアル女を落とせっていうのか？
まあ口づけ程度でいいので。
Here we have a guy who picks on girls after a goddess forces him to do it. Here we meet Kaima Katsuragi, a guy who is good at dating girls. In a dating sim, he hates actual girls and finds consolation in the 2D realm. But one day he accidentally signs a contract with the demons and soon a girl named Elsie lands beside him and says he has a job.
ご契約ありがとうございます、神様。さあ参りましょう。かけたまがりへ。
What's the job? He needs to date different girls with evil spirits who have escaped hell and scattered around the world. Not a pretty hard job, right? Nah, that's what you think. Turns out that's pretty harder than you thought.
来ました。かけたまです。
If you need a harem romance anime done right without the usual cliches popping in, then make sure to watch this one. Number 2, is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon?
お客が増えたご褒美にもらったんだ。夕食はパーティーとシャレ込もうじゃないか。ベル君、 今夜は君を寝かさないぜ。
The first season follows the story of a boy named Bel Krill, chosen by the goddess Heista to protect a dungeon. But that's not all. Along the way, he picks up girls in a dungeon. That's right, so by the time this guy reaches the end of the dungeon, he'll have more girls than monsters he killed. Just kidding. Even though this starts off as a typical B-grand adventure show, the world gets more fleshed out, and we see some antagonists who up the stakes of the story with each arc.
僕はもうしばらく二人きりでもいいんだけど。いやいやいや。
The fourth season of this anime is airing right now, and it seems this guy's getting more girls. But like I said, we all know who the best girl is, Ice Wallenstein. But since this video is about goddesses, the one you should focus on is the goddess Heista, who helps our main character reach the end of the dungeon and get girls along the way. Number 1, Kami-sama Kiss.
おい、女。お前、何者だ。
I needed to finish off this list with one of my favorite romance anime. Kami-sama Kiss is pretty popular, so I'm sure most of you have watched it, but if you haven't, then this is the final push for you to watch it. This anime is about a girl named Nanami Momozono who is kicked out of her house after her father spends all his money on gambling.
助けてほしいか、ナナミ。助けてほしいのだろう。愚かな私めをお許しください、巴様と泣いて頼めば助けてやらんこともないぞ。
Thanks to her good luck, a man named Mikage offers her to stay at his house after she saves him from a dog. Nanami agrees, but soon learns Mikage used to be the Earth deity and now has awarded the position to her. She meets Tomoe, Mikage's acquaintance, and learns that he isn't the best person to be with, but secretly she falls in love with him.
来てくれてありがとう。
If you need that bad boy good girl love drama, then make sure to watch this one. It's one of the best, and it's going to appear in your best romance anime list as soon as you finish watching it.